Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Heidi, and today's video is a special treat. It is filmed and featuring our dear friend Kent Halliburton. He's someone who we really value his insights, someone who we've been bouncing ideas off of for several years now, and his input and his insights have been really on point in our experience. And basically, he's someone who I value his opinions on this cryptocurrency space, and I'm happy to share this platform that I've built the past 6 years with other people who have something to provide educational-wise or thought-wise for you, the listeners and the watchers who want to learn more about cryptocurrency. Also, I want you to bear in mind that this is the first time Kent is recording a video on his own, and there were some audio technical things that we can improve upon, so you might find the audio a little bit lacking in this video, so bear with me. The information is on point otherwise. So if you guys enjoy what Kent has to say, I definitely recommend you check him out. His newsletter, his LinkedIn, all of the information that he's talking about in today's video will be found down below in the video description. And also, if you like more videos, if you want more videos from Kent, don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe as well so you can get notified when more videos like this come out. That's enough for me. Now let's check out Kent.
Hey everybody over there at Crypto Tips. This is Kent. Toby and Heidi told me that some of you were interested in hearing more thoughts after I shared with you about Solana and proof of history. And Toby and I were talking, and he thought one of the recent newsletters I put out had a good topic, and it's about Bitcoin and how it's providing an economic form of gravity. I just, before I get into that, I just want to share a little bit that I listen to a lot of podcasts and people like Robert Breedlove and Michael Saylor and Jeff Booth. They've definitely been inspiring a lot of my thoughts, and what I try to do is sometimes in my newsletter take that information, synthesize it, and bring it down into a way that I think it makes sense, because sometimes these ideas are pretty complex. And so I'll try to do that here today. But, one of the things that I think of when I think of Bitcoin, the more I learn about Bitcoin, the more I actually am understanding what money itself is. And when I look at our reality right now, I just see that we've become untethered from reality. And I think a big part of that is coming from the fact that our money is completely a work of fiction at this point. There's nothing that ties it to the laws of physics. And I think that's where we've gotten ourselves into trouble societally. In 1971, the U.S. dollar is the global reserve asset. In 1971, it was completely separated from the laws of physics. What I mean by that is there's no longer any gold or precious metals backing it. And precious metals backing a currency means that there's a physical limitation to how much money can actually be printed. And once we separated that, there is no longer anything tying money to physical reality. And you can see that the money supply has just grown and grown since then. I mean, it was growing before. You can see in history where we were starting to separate more and more from the gold standard. But in 1971, it was totally separated. There's a great website called W2TF 1971. You get to see all these charts where just like society sort of started to come apart at the seams, and there's not really an area in society that hasn't been impacted, whether that's the way we farm, the architecture we build, blown up asset prices, real estate going up. Everything is being inflated by this money printing machine. And when you look at Bitcoin, most people, because it's digital, don't actually realize, but it's tying us back to physical reality. And that's, I don't think it's going to be a smooth ride that we get there. A lot of us that are doing well in this fictionalized reality that we've created are probably going to go kicking and screaming to let that die. But it's going to happen almost inevitably in my mind, because human beings have just, over time, always gravitated to what the best form of money is. You can see this like in isolated pockets as humanity was sort of becoming more civilized. Maybe it was seeds, maybe it was glass beads, maybe it was shells. salt in some places. These are all different forms of money and precious metals. And as cultures sort of interlocked and started working with one another, just globally we tended to settle on precious metals. Well, Bitcoin has all those properties why humanity settled on precious metals and some. And what I mean by and some is it has the ability to be transported in a weightless way almost instantaneously. And that can't be said for precious metals. This is why humanity is just going to gravitate to it. It's just almost like a law of nature in my mind. And why that's good is because the laws of physics still back Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin mining is made much more complex to most people than it really needs to be. At the end of the day, there's energy that comes in and Bitcoin that comes out. That's how the mining works. That's it. And the protocol regulates how much Bitcoin is coming out the other end. But by having energy come in at the base and Bitcoin coming out, it means that Bitcoin are actually backed by energy that ties us back to physical reality. You can't create Bitcoin without that energy. And I think that's lost because something in the digital realm, being connected to physical reality, it's really the first time that we have an example of this. And in my mind, that was Satoshi's real work of genius, not the 21 million, but this proof of work, the ability to tie physical reality to something that's digitally scarce. So what I see is that is creating this economic constant. 21 million Bitcoin is an economic constant that's forcing its way, almost like in physics, there's constants, like the speed of light is a constant, the force of gravity is a constant. These are ones that we're familiar with in our day-to-day life, but we're not very used to having an economic constant. And that's, causing academics and all sorts of economists to sort of like lose their lid because it's hard to understand, but this is going to ground economics. It is, and it's going to ground society. And so that's why Bitcoin is a great thing, despite what Elon Musk or any of the energy fund that's coming out there is saying, because, I work in the Bitcoin mining space as well for a company called SAS Mining. And, as I've been studying more and more how Bitcoin actually uses its energy, Bitcoin is always going to go to where energy is cheapest. And the cheapest energy is energy that's either not being used or is being underused. So underused being like a hydropower plant, where there's only a certain amount of capacity that's being used. So Bitcoin can sop up that extra. But it's going to all these places and using all this energy that otherwise wouldn't be used. That's the cheapest energy that's on the planet. It's not like more energy power plants are being developed for this. And if you look at once all that cheap energy is consumed, the next logical place for it to go, if we are going to generate new power facilities, is actually going to be solar, because it's got the lowest cost of levelized, lowest LCOE, levelized cost of energy. That solar has that lowest price, and it's continuing to come down. So to me, it's inevitable that, okay, maybe we don't have the cleanest energy being consumed by Bitcoin initially, but even without trying, market forces are using about 60% of that energy renewable. And once all that excess energy is sopped up that's on the grid, then the next step is, in my mind, inevitably going to be solar, because that's the cheapest. So this energy FUD that folks like Elon Musk are throwing around, it's for naught. This economic constant is going to pull society back to reality. And I think that's a good thing for all of us, to get more connected and real just about the way we live. So anyway, hope you guys like this. If you do, feel free to follow my newsletter. I'm sure Heidi and Toby will post it in the links here. And come say what's up. All right, talk to you later.